Some healthy and low calorie meal ideas. I think this is where a lot of people get tripped up when they're first starting out in their weight loss routine, is that they just don't know where to even start. So I'm gonna hopefully give you some really simple ideas here. This is what I do for myself and what I recommend for a lot of the people that I work with, to make it quick, to make it cheap, to make it healthy, and to make it the easiest for yourself. And we'll first look at meals and then we'll look at protein. So we're gonna go through this concept of just picking one thing out of each of these categories and making it the really easiest for yourself. So you're gonna pick one protein, a lean source of protein specifically. So this could be chicken breast, that's one of my favorites. And you could do pork chops, some lean pork chops, ground beef, lean ground beef, or just lean cuts of steak. There are some steaks that are a little bit leaner than the others. You'd have to do some research on that. Maybe low-fat dairy if you're somebody who's vegetarian, that could be your protein source. So Greek yogurt is a great example. Maybe some low-fat cheese or even just some milk. That could be your source of protein. So that's the first thing you pick. You pick one of those. The next thing you're gonna do is pick a veggie or a fruit. If you're somebody who likes the sweetness a little more, maybe lean towards the fruit. If you're somebody who likes to pair your vegetable with your protein, that's what I like to do, I would lean towards the veggie. You also could do both, but we're just trying to make it easier on yourself, so I would just pick one. Some examples of vegetables that you could do: broccoli, carrots, cauliflower, peppers, onions, spinach, Brussels sprouts. You could get some lettuce in there, maybe some celery. Trying to think of some others off the top of my head. Collard greens, asparagus is a really good one. I love asparagus. Fruit examples: bananas, apples, grapes, oranges, kiwi, pineapples. What are all the fruits I like? Blackberries, blueberries, strawberries, all great ideas. So you picked a protein, right? You got your protein, you got your veggie or your fruit. And then after that, we're gonna add a little bit extra carb. And this is where you might need to kind of play around a little bit. If you're somebody who's trying to lose a lot of weight, you might wanna lean towards a smaller portion of this carb section. If you're somebody who's just trying to maintain weight, or maybe even gain weight, you're just trying to learn a little bit more about counting calories, you could probably get away with a slightly bigger portion of carbs. Some good types of carbs to pick for your meal would be a whole grain carb, or just a filling carb. So a filling carb would be something like potatoes. Sweet potatoes are great. Regular russet potatoes or white potatoes are great. Lots of different options that you can pick from there. Some whole grain bread, whole grain wraps. I love wraps. I use those a lot. Oats are great examples. So you can make some oats, oatmeal. Again, you can really spice those up. And actually, if you have some fruit, adding the fruit into the oatmeal is a really great idea. English muffins, you can get some whole grain English muffins. I really like those too. Quinoa is another really good option. You can get brown rice too. That'd be a whole grain that you could get for yourself. So you're picking one of those things. So those are just a few options. And then you're gonna add a low-calorie sauce. And some of my favorites, there are a lot of different ones, but there's sugar-free barbecue sauce out there, sugar-free ketchup, mustard's another zero-calorie one. There's low-fat dressings, soy sauce is another good one, hot sauce is another good one. You're basically making this as simple as possible, right? So we picked that protein, we picked that veggie, we picked that carb, and we picked our low-calorie sauce. You're basically just gonna dump it in a bowl, kind of stir it up, and you're good to go. Make it super easy on yourself. You could meal prep this for the week and have a bunch of meals for the week, or you could just bulk prep a bunch of chicken or a bunch of protein for one day and overall just kind of work from there. So just a few general ideas to make it easy, because the easier it is, the easier you will adhere to it and do it for a long period of time. Some also good low-calorie snacks. Fat-free popcorn is one of my favorites. People would think popcorn like, oh, popcorn, that's not really healthy. Well, if you get 94% fat-free popcorn, this actually has basically virtually no fat in it, really high in fiber, good whole grain, really healthy. Give you some good nutrients. Low-fat Greek yogurt I love with a little bit of fruit. Sugar-free pudding and jello is a good option too, just for some kind of lower calorie snacks. And then rice cakes. You can get some really tasty rice cakes as well that work super good. So all great ideas for yourself if you're just trying to start getting some healthy meals, because I do understand that it is very overwhelming when you're first starting out.